Hey there, this is Jorik. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for watching this video. And if you just found me, it's probably because you're looking to move to Portugal, or you're interested in relocating or taking a vacation here, or you have some Euro travel news that I try to update people on. So that's probably how you found me. I'm glad you did. I hope you stick around and subscribe and watch more videos that I've done. If you're returning, I apologize for continuing that blurb. You already know why you're here. Today's video, I want to address something that gets asked a great deal when I do relocation consultation phone calls with people, or when people are messaging and leaving comments below in videos. Oftentimes the question will be, hey, I want to live near people, fellow expats from my home country, whatever country that is. Or the opposite. I'm moving from a particular country and I'd prefer to not be around people from my own country, which is sort of weird to think of, but you can understand there may be reasons why you're moving away from a place, so you don't necessarily want to be around or live near some of those same people. So I don't have a precise answer to the question of, where are people living around Portugal, but CEF, the governing body that handles immigration and also deals with border control that you've dealt with if you've come in and out of the country, or if you're looking to move here, you're probably dealing with some portion of them. They put out an annual report and they offer some statistics that show who has applied for residency and where. Not just which country they are from. So, for example, I'm a citizen of the United States, resident here in Lisbon or in Portugal, but they also show and give some metrics on where in the country people have moved to from their home country to Portugal. So I'm going to go through from the CEF website some information that they've provided that if you're looking at where you may want to live on a short-term basis, so let's say a year or two, or if you're thinking of property and you're thinking more long-term, this will help guide you if you're looking to be around a certain demographic of people from certain countries, or if you want to maybe shy away from some people. This might help you make a decision and give you a better perspective on who's moving and where they're moving from. So first things first, we're going to go to this website, cefstat.cef.pt, as you can see here. I'm going to change it to English because I'm not going to be able to understand much of the Portuguese. And then once I do that, if I click statistics, it shows in different blue shades the country of Portugal, the mainland, as well as the Azores and Madeira. And then if you look to the right, this diagram or matrix or Excel spreadsheet of who, what, where, when, and why, I try to pay attention to just the first column shows you the districts within Portugal. The second just shows total, and I'm looking at that number, that 698,887. That shows the total number of, I'll say, foreign residents. So foreigners who have received some type of residency within Portugal. So this is as of the end of 2021. So their report just came out for 2021. They'll end up doing 2022 here at the end of 2023. So it's always a year behind. But pretty good information. So what I'm going to do is just click on Lisboa, because that happens to be the district that I'm in. And then within Lisbon or Lisboa, you can see the different areas that people may be residing in, that as you're getting chopped up here into different, I think it's parishes that they may be calling it. I'm going to click on Lisbon or Lisboa again, and that particular area, which is, I'll call it the city center. So you're looking at Belém, Lapa, Estrela, Campo do Ourique, Park of Nations, Chiado, the Baixa, the Alfama, Penha da França, Arroios, Campo Pequeno, Alvalade, pretty much from the Vasco da Gama Bridge all the way a little bit past the April 25th Bridge, north of the airport, anything that would be considered city center, that would be this Lisboa. So if I click on that, so the city center area, you can see here where people are from. So for example, there are over 4,500 Germans that live in the city center, about 2,600 Angolans, almost 6,000 people from Bangladesh. As I continue to scroll, there's 19,000, almost 20,000 Brazilians living in the city center, over 6,000 Chinese. If you're looking for, and I'm going to go through because several people have messaged me from these countries. So for example, Spain, there's almost 5,000 living in this particular part of Lisbon, the city of Lisbon, from Spain. 1,700 from the US, almost 1,800. Other places that you can look at here, 4,000 from India, almost 8,500 people from Italy. But as you continue here, you can find the country that you're from, almost 5,000 people from the United Kingdom that are here, almost 2,000 from Romania, you name it. So it's got all of the countries listed that someone is a resident of Portugal from the former country. So it can give you an idea of the mix or how blended Portugal is, or this particular part of Lisbon. I'm going to hit really quickly. I'm going to go back out here and I'm going to go to Cascais, because for those of you that happen to be from the United States, often you message and saying, well, I hear Cascais has a lot of Americans there. And in some cases, it's been called like a little America, or there's a lot of Americans living there. And in that particular area, when you look at the numbers, and as I'm scrolling down here, there's actually over 11,000 Brazilians living there, people from Spain, France. But when you're looking at the United States here, slowly going to get it here, the United States, 689. So not as many people as maybe you think or might be reported. You may think there's thousands there, and that could be good or bad. You may go, oh, I want to live near other Americans, or you may go, I don't want to live around other Americans and moving away from the U.S. to move in and learn about other cultures and get away from Americans. Well, here in Cascais, even though it's said that there's a lot of people from the U.S. living there, from a residency standpoint, that's not necessarily the case. There's many more people in the city center. But if you want to go to this website, take a look at it. Pick a different area of Portugal and look at the Azores or Madeira or Faro, Porto. Those are some of the main areas that many expats live. But if you're thinking of north of Lisbon, the Silver Coast area, you may want to look at Leiria, Coimbra, Aveiro, those districts, and start digging into them to find out, because you may see a video about a place and go, God, we love this. This looks so amazing. And you realize that there aren't many expats at all from any country there. It's mostly Portuguese locals, so you'll have to know and learn more Portuguese, and that may be exactly what you're looking to do. But oftentimes when people call or message, they're looking for people that have a similar language. Like they're worried about how fast they need to learn the Portuguese language. And this is, I will say, a good barometer to give you some perspective on where people are living throughout Portugal in relation to where you're from, or again, countries that you want to find expats from or associate with, or if you choose not to. This is a good way to be able to look at things. Real quick, I'm going to run down to Foro here. I'm going to click this area, which basically encapsulates the whole Algarve. And we were just in the, I'll say the Lule area. And if I'm looking at this particular area, the only true metrics they have is they have Albufeira. This area, they show where people from, again, a lot of people from Brazil. But if we're looking at from the United States, only 70. I was looking to see the UK because, okay, almost 2,700, almost 2,800 from the UK in that particular area alone. that makes sense based upon all the people that we meet that happen to be from the United Kingdom that live in the Algarve. But if you check out these different districts, most of them have some numbers that you can look at, and it really is helpful because part of making the decision to move here is who will be your neighbors, not just in your building, but in your street, in your area, in your region, and how much expat community you want to have or not want to have. This is some really good information, and I think these are just unbiased statistics that come from Seth that'll give you, again, a guide and help give you a reference point as you're making your decision on where you want to live in Portugal. So again, I hope this information is useful. I'm putting a link in the description box of this place, so it'll give you a shortcut on how to get in there and start looking at it. But I hope you do, and please comment below on what your thoughts are on where you found places to live or what your expectations were versus the reality from moving here. What have you found once you lived here? Did you like the expats and the people around you, or do you want to move someplace else because you don't like the people around you? Please comment. I think it helps the community to find out and share some of these ideas. Thank you again, and enjoy your travels.